Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday, May 26th, and this is the COVID update. I'm Karen Connolly from the Board of Selectmen, and I'm here with Jim Boudreau, our town manager. I would like to say something about Memorial Day, which was yesterday. If you have the chance to observe it in any way, I think we would all be well to remember that people have sacrificed a lot more and for a lot longer time than we're being asked to do in these times. I don't like wearing a mask. I can't see sometimes. It drives me crazy, but it really is necessary to do it. So I would just encourage everyone to do it. There is a Board of Selectmen meeting tonight. It is, again, a remote meeting. It's at 7 o'clock. There are instructions on the town website on the agenda as to how you can call into it. And finally, I'd like to say that with the town election coming up June 13th, the polls will be open 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the high school. However, we're encouraging people to early vote by mail. You can find information about that on the town clerk's website. She also did a video that is on YouTube, Scituate Community TV, which explains the process. So if you haven't voted already, consider doing it, and you will be running out of time in terms of getting back the ballot by mail. So I encourage everyone to do that. Jim?
So, busy weekend in Scituate. Since last Thursday, we've had 12 additional cases to add to the Scituate count. Those break down as 3 antibody cases, 3 cases at the Life Care Center. They are retesting now people who tested negative the first time around, which means we had 6 new cases in Scituate. 3 of those were brand new cases at unreported addresses. That's the first time since April 29th that we've had new addresses. None of this has to do with the beaches being open. None of this has to do with the loosening of restrictions, but we did have 3 additional cases that were new address cases. A lot of questions have been asked about the difference between what we've been reporting, what the state's been reporting. There's really 3 numbers that we have. One is what we've been tracking as Scituate cases since the beginning. That's what we've been updating twice a week, sorry. And those are the number of cases that have a definitive Scituate address that we know are Scituate residents. The number the state's been reporting recently takes those numbers and adds nursing home cases that they are attributing to Scituate. The third number that we have is the total number of cases, which is everybody in Scituate and everybody in a nursing home that has tested positive or tested positive for antibodies. When I take our number, add the nursing home numbers together, we equal that third number. We're very consistent with that. We're off by a little depending upon the reporting dates, but it's very consistent. So the number that we've been reporting here are the actual numbers of Scituate residents with Scituate addresses, and that's where we get that number from, and that's where that discrepancy comes from. So it's been consistent. We've been consistent with it all along. We haven't added those nursing home cases in because we wanted to keep consistency in our numbers. So we're reporting the nursing home cases separately. Life Care Center now will be up to 55 cases. They were at 52. They'll be up to 55 now.
That's a lot.
That's why, out of just over 90, that's very high. The Cardigan was at, I believe, 4 or 5 out of 50, so considerably less as a number and as a percentage. But the Life Care does have them all segregated. Again, they're testing everybody, again, who did not test positive the first time. They're continuing that, and they're continuing to test their employees. Yesterday was phase 1 of reopening the economy. As people probably can see, barbershops and hair salons did open. Took a lot of work to get this cut back up. Barbershops, hair salons are open. Retail is open for pickup and curbside delivery. The library will be working on getting curbside pickup and drop-off of books going in the next week or so. We're going to have that up and running, I hope, when we have the safety systems in place. The beaches are open. The beach is open on, we've never closed our beaches. The state beach is officially open on Monday. The rules are posted on the website, 12 feet apart to allow transit between your blankets. Maintain your social distancing. If you can't maintain your social distancing, you should wear a mask. No organized sports, no football, no cam jam, no soccer, no volleyball, none of those things. I went by on Friday. I checked all the beaches in Scituate proper. Deputy Chief Thompson also checked and went over to Hummerock. The parking lots were uniformly full. The beaches were crowded, with the exception probably of Sand Hills. Sand Hills wasn't very crowded on Museum Beach. But Peggotty was crowded. Egypt Beach was crowded. Minot Beach was crowded. I think people were really trying. We do see the high school and the college kids are congregating. They're not social distancing. They're staying in groups. But I give people an A for effort for really trying to social distance. It is hard. We ask that you do the best you can. The next couple of days are going to be warm. People are going to be back to the beach. This pandemic is not over. The real issue I had on Friday was driving around. It seemed like nice weather, no masks. Please, if you're out in situations where you are going to be interacting with people, running into people, please wear your masks. When I wear a mask, it has a little impact. If you wear a mask, it has a little impact. If we both wear masks, it has a very big impact in terms of stopping the spread of the disease. Phase 2 is currently slated to start June 8th, and again, that will be designated by the numbers, whether we're going to be able to open that or not. That will involve restaurants, nail salons, and some other things, including summer camps, which we're waiting for guidelines on. Athletic fields have been opened. The guidelines are out for that. Again, we've posted those. The main thing is you are not to use other people's equipment. We are not supposed to have doubles tennis. So you can be out on the field. You can play. No organized pickup games. No organized practices. Just you, your family, your kids going out and getting some exercise on the fields. This does not apply to the high school complex. I need to stress that the high school complex is a construction site. It is not under the control of the town of Scituate. I have reports this weekend that the police responded to someone operating a machine on the fields. Someone got out there and operated a machine on the fields. We are checking to see if anybody did any damage out there. Also, that there was an organized team out there over the weekend practicing or playing. Again, these fields are closed. It is not anywhere related to COVID-19. These fields are under the care, control, and custody of the contractor. I'll be meeting with Deputy Chief Thompson later on today, and we're going to be talking about enforcement on those fields because it's an ongoing problem. You need to stay off those fields regardless of COVID-19. It is a construction site. It is full of heavy equipment and machinery. You're not allowed in there. So please stay away from the high school field complex until it is done and we actually open it back up. Guidance for the fields, although is posted. All this guidance is posted. The dog park will be open later today. Okay. We have some temporary signs we'll put up. The permanent signs won't be until later on in the week. We didn't want to wait for those, so we will post that today. Masks are required in the dog park. It is a confined area. You can get stuck where you can't get away from someone, so you will have to wear a mask in there. The water will not be turned on because there's a shared water dish, and that is not allowed under the guidelines. We will monitor it, looking at the crowds. If it gets too crowded, then we will start limiting parking. If it still gets too crowded, then we'll just shut the dog park down again. We're not going to be down there doing individual enforcement. And I think the message on all of what we're talking about is you need to police yourself. You need to follow the rules. Do what you're supposed to do, and don't make the town start taking actions that the town doesn't want to take. That goes for the dog park, for the beaches. Again, the parking lots were full. Because people don't go to their cars at the same time, I don't really see the need to separate the cars at this point. Right. If everybody went to their car at the same point, you'd start worrying about social distancing. But if the beaches stay crowded and people do not have the ability to social distance, then we'll have to talk about reducing the parking to reduce the number of people on the beach. We don't want to do that. Widows Walk, not only is the POS system up and running where people can now go online and make their tea reservations and pay online, but now the regulations have been relaxed and golf carts are now available. One person to a cot unless you're from the same family. At Widows Walk, we have a limited number of cots, so we'll limit the cots to 2 per foursome. So if you're with your family, you can ride in the cot together. If not, you're going to have to decide who's riding and who's walking, because we just don't have enough carts for a foursome to have 4 carts with 1 person in every cot. But you can get golf carts. One other announcement, 2 other announcements actually. The transfer station is going to start asking residents next week to separate cardboard and paper when they come in. We'll have extra bins. The reason for that is separating the cardboard and paper improves the quality of our waste stream and increases the value of what we're getting rid of, and therefore reduces our disposal costs. So they'll be putting signs up just asking people, if you have cardboard, it goes in one bin. If you have paper, it goes in the other bin. Again, it just makes our waste stream a little cleaner and makes it worth more money, which then drives down the cost of getting rid of it for everybody. And the last thing that nobody wants to hear, I'm sure, and that is that taxes are due Monday, June 1st. The board gave a month's grace period. That grace period is up, and people will be needing to pay their taxes by June 1st. The vast majority of taxes have already been collected. I think we're at about 96, 97% collected, so we're doing very well. But we ask people, if you haven't paid your taxes, please make sure you do. If you can't, get in touch with the treasurer collector to work something out, because there are plans that you can enter into if you can't pay your taxes, regardless of COVID-19. So people should talk to the treasurer. If you have paid your taxes, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And if you haven't, again, you have now until Monday to pay your taxes. So that's what I have for my update. Keep it up. Wash your hands. Cover your face. Stay safe. And we'll be keeping an eye on the beaches over the next couple of days. We're going to get a couple really nice days that I think people will be out at the beaches. And hopefully people will follow the rules and we won't have to take action to restrict the number of people that can go out there.
Very good. Thanks, Jim. One final note, you will be beginning to see signs around town for Scituate Loves Local. Not easy to say, but it's a campaign to try to help support the businesses in town. And one thing we had talked about at a meeting about Scituate Loves Local is that if you have the means to do it, buying a gift card from a local merchant can help them with their cash flow. You may not even want to give it to someone perhaps until, Christmas. You may want to give a gift card for a birthday. You may want to use it yourself when restrictions are off. So that will really help local businesses if it's possible for you to do so. So at any rate, thanks again, Jim. I think this is our 21st episode of this update, and it's been a while, but I think it's working. So
Yeah,
thanks for taking the time to do it.
It is obvious, I think, to everybody that people are really getting to the point where this quarantine is starting to really get to people. I know it's getting to me. We see it in the office with the type of calls we're getting. We ask that you keep it up. It's not over. We're not out of the woods. Keep up the social distancing. Keep up washing your hands, covering your face, and hopefully we won't see a rebound of this, and we'll be able to keep moving forward with the phases of opening the economy and getting back to some sort of new normal, as the governor calls it.
Agreed. Thanks very much, and thanks, Seth, again.
Thank you.